Hello, this is Miguel Cardona, Secretary of Education. I'm glad to be with you today at CareerConn. When I was a student in Connecticut, I explored different pathways to see what I'd be interested in, and all of that helped prepare me for my career in education. And I know you've had an opportunity to explore different careers. Regardless of what you choose something you love, take a risk. I know that if you do, you will contribute to a better Connecticut and a better country. Good luck to you. Enjoy the conference, and I hope to see you soon.
Hello, my name is Pierre Goburn, and I'm here to talk to you about the careers in hospitality, food, and beverage. There are so many different avenues and paths that one can take in this hospitality career field. Bartending, food and beverage directing, baking and pastry chef. You could be a food truck operator or a restaurant manager. There are so many different avenues, but they all require some of the same skill sets. So what does it take to cut it in the hospitality field? Well, leadership is one of the qualities that is often sought for. The ability to coordinate, work with others, and manage personal resources is a huge resource to employers. Communication is paramount. Chefs must be able to communicate clearly with their staff and colleagues in both creative and business-focused discussions. Food production, well, that goes without saying. Knowledge of food production, food types, and food storage, along with technical cooking methods, such as working with knives or appliances, is a must-have skill. Being creative and being open to possessing the skills to create new menus, recipes, and food presentations. Being detailed-oriented. The ability to multitask, organize, and manage high standards in cleanliness and hygiene in the kitchen. All of these skills are what it takes to make it in the hospitality industry. Some of the educational requirements for other types of fields may require many degrees or many years of schooling. Typically, occupations in the culinary field do not require a formal education degree. Certifications, though, will certainly improve your chances of getting employers to take a notice of you. High school diplomas and GEDs are required for most programs, and certification is the goal towards the end. Salaries in hospitality, food, and beverage can vary depending on the many different paths that I told you once before that you can pursue. Bartending, bakers, chefs, and food service managers have an array of different salaries. You would have to find out which is the proper mix for you. So, culinary arts in a snapshot. There are a lot of different concerns about the restaurant business and what the opportunities may be. But one thing is for sure, there are still restaurants, and those restaurant employers need skilled and highly trained professionals to man their kitchens. That could be you, or maybe something else is for you. You may want to ask yourself, what kind of job is right for me? What kind of personality do you have? Do you like working with a team? Do you like working with your hands? Some of these things are things to consider. But one thing is for sure, the culinary arts field isn't going anywhere as restaurants strive to find new and innovative ways to serve patrons. So get ahead of it and get going, and let's get started with a career in hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you so much for attending CareerConn 2021. Hi everyone, my name is Peter Clayton and I am the founder and operator of the Bartenders Academy in Fairfield, Connecticut. We're also happy that you're checking out these different careers and different possibilities. And as part of the hospitality group, you are in for an incredible journey and an incredible ride. I started in the bar industry, in the bar business, over 15 years ago and met some of the most amazing people. If you are thinking about a career in which you can be yourself and be rewarded for hard work, then hospitality is definitely the field you want to be in. Now, for those of you who like chatting with people, who are outgoing, love being, whether it be the center of attention, or if you don't like being the center of attention, but you like seeing a smile on someone's face, then you may want to consider bartending. I've met people from all walks of life, from people who just got out of high school and have never even, been around alcohol, to people who, were retiring and wanted a new career. It's really something where what you're selling is not a cocktail. You're not selling a drink. You're selling a service of really taking care of the people around you. And that's really a common thread throughout hospitality in general. And when you're at the bar, I'm going to tell you it's so much fun. people are coming to you because they had a long day, they had a lot on their mind, they want to celebrate, they want to get something off of their mind. Whatever it is, the reason why they're coming to your bar is really to engage, it's to connect, and it's really to uplift their spirits. So if that sounds like you, when you think to yourself, I'm pretty outgoing, I'm pretty friendly, or even if you're not that outgoing, you're like, hey, I really enjoy when I see people's spirits being uplifted, well, maybe you should pour some spirits. I've been at the Bartenders Academy now for over a decade, and we've seen people from, like I said before, from all walks of life really go and transform themselves into, going back to school for additional education. A lot of our students, were in healthcare and they wanted a way to pay for their education and their training, or they wanted to have an additional source of income, and bartending can be fantastic for that. Now, I want to walk you through a little bit about what it takes to be a successful bartender and how do you actually get into the field, and what's the earning potential. So I want to cover those few things. And so how do you actually go about becoming a bartender? Well, it's very simple. You really want to make sure that you have your core values set, and those core values should really be about service. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're thinking about someone else, what are their needs, and how you can make their day a brighter day. And that's really, if you have that, you can learn all the skills. And obviously at our training centers, we can help you learn those skills, but you really need to be people-centered first. Now, if you're still excited and you really want to know what's going to make you successful behind the bar, let's keep going. What you really want to do is when you're behind the bar and you're pouring drinks and you're grabbing bottles, you have to multitask. You have to be doing 100 things at once. If that sounds terrifying, If that sounds terrifying to you, don't worry, it comes with practice. If it's something that sounds really exciting for you, if you like stimulation, if you like different conversations with different people, then bartending, that is literally the front lines when you are in the bar industry or when you are in a restaurant. You're engaging with folks, right? And so that's super important. Now, in terms of the income potential, if you look on the Connecticut State website or the federal website, you'll see numbers around $30,000+ a year that bartenders make. Now, here's the fun thing. That's part-time. Most bartenders are bartending part-time and make incredible income. It varies depending on where you're working and how good you are, but if you talk to bartenders, they do pretty well. A lot of our bartenders have paid off their housing, they've paid for graduate school, they've paid for undergraduate school, they've paid off their debt, they've done so many things with the extra income. But you know what's really interesting about that? Most bartenders, if you talk to them, they would bartend for free. That's right, because it's just so much fun. I remember coming home from bartending and being exhausted and being tired and just being like, oh my gosh, my body's aching for standing for so long. But I felt good inside. It felt awesome. A lot of people, and for those of you who are looking at new careers, one of the things you want to think about is, will I be happy? Will I be able to make a decent income, but will I enjoy what I'm doing? Life is so short. You don't want to waste it doing something that you don't enjoy. And that's one of the things that many of my students will tell you, that it's just something that they love doing. And so that love for the industry, that love and that passion, that creativity that you can put in when you're making a cocktail, it's the reason why people bartend for a long time. And get this, you can bartend part-time for 2 years. You can take off 5 years and go, raise a family. You can come back and then bartend full-time and keep going from there. It's something that's so flexible. And so that's just on the pouring cocktail side. But we are talking about hospitality, and we are talking about the beverage industry. Not only can you pour cocktails, but you can go into management. That's right. For those of you who feel that you may be a leader, you can actually start training other bartenders as a bar manager where you work. Or maybe you become a general manager. Or maybe you become an entrepreneur and open up your own bar. The possibilities are literally endless. I'll share with you another thing. So when I started bartending, I was only bartending part-time. I had a daytime corporate job. And I thought it was kind of funny. I was like, would people kind of look at me different if I was bartending? The amount of people in leadership positions, directors, executives, sometimes presidents of company would pull me aside and say, hey, I used to bartend. I loved it. And one of the reasons why, if you talk to any of the other, and when you hear from some of the other professionals in the culinary industry and in the hospitality industry, they'll say one of the core skill sets to success in life and success in business is your ability to connect with other people. And as a bartender, that is the #1 skill set you will develop. So even if you only bartend for 3 or 4 years and you go off into medicine or law or automotive or healthcare, the skill that you will need is the ability to connect with other people. And that is something you hone as a bartender. You meet people when they're happy, you meet them when they're sad, you meet them at all stages and moments in your life. And if you have the ability to connect with folks, no matter who they are or where they are, you can translate that into so many other paths in your life. Well, my message to you is to believe in yourself, believe in your abilities, and what you don't know, you can learn. And that's what we're all here today at CareerConn 2021, is to make sure that you can take your beautiful, incredible, and awesome talents that you have, refine them with a new skill set, go out in the world and share your love and share your positivity with everyone around you. And that's really the core of bartending, that's the core of culinary, and that's the core of hospitality. And with that, my friends, I wish you the best of luck. And if you want more information, just check out the rest of the tracks and programs here, and we look forward to your success.
Hi, I'm Joanna with Lincoln Culinary Institute. We want to discuss one more avenue in the hospitality industry, and that is international baking and pastry arts. There's a wide variety of opportunity in baking and pastry. You can be a baker, and that would be an early morning job where you'd come in and bake artisan breads, rolls, muffins, scones, all those yummy things we look forward to having when we get up in the morning. You may be someone who enjoys a nightlife, and then you would be pursuing employment in a high-end fine dining establishment where you would be plating desserts. That's often the last person who would leave in the evening. If you're a night person, that one could be for you. You can travel, cruise lines, resorts. We have assisted living facilities now looking for those with formal skills, someone who has a little refined bit of training. These individuals living in long-term care or assisted living are looking for quality food. They just don't want institutional food anymore. Occupational outlook for bakers and pastry chefs is wide and varied. You can work in, as I mentioned earlier, high-end fine dining. You can find employment in resorts. You can travel the world and use your skills to provide a great living for yourself at the same time of traveling. To learn more about the occupational outlook in this field, you can refer to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics or onetonline.org. So whether you choose to pursue a career as a baker or a pastry chef, opportunities are wide and varied. You can work in high-end fine dining, catering, hotels, country clubs, resorts. You can even develop clientele on your own. Learning how to photograph your creations, posting them, developing a website are all easy ways to get your career off the ground and on its way. So please be sure and visit all of the virtual booths pertaining to the culinary industry. We wish you all the best.